Hey, Grandma here. There's a phrase that follows Souls games wherever they go. If you've played long enough, you've heard it. Git Good. The first time you hear it, it doesn't sound helpful. It doesn't sound encouraging. It sounds sharp, dismissive. Like someone telling you that you're bad. And they don't care. And that's why it hurts. Because when you're already frustrated, already stuck, already questioning whether you belong in this game at all, being told to get good feels like the door just slammed shut. It feels like you're being laughed at for struggling. But what's strange, and what I want to talk about today, is that the same phrase that hurt so deeply at the beginning is something people proudly wear later, almost like a badge. And that contradiction matters. Git Good hurts because it offers no comfort. It doesn't say you're doing your best. It doesn't say this boss is unfair. It doesn't say here's the trick you're missing. It simply implies one thing. There is something you don't understand yet. And that's uncomfortable, especially in a world where we're used to guidance, tutorials, difficulty sliders, gentle ramps. Souls games don't give you that. They let you fail, quietly, repeatedly, unapologetically. And when someone echoes that failure with Git Good, it feels like confirmation of your worst fear. That the problem is you. That you're not skilled enough, not fast enough, not built for this. That's why the phrase hurts. Not because it's cruel, but because it refuses to soften the truth. But here's the part that gets lost. Git Good is not, you're stupid, you don't belong, you should quit. Souls games themselves don't say that, ever. When you die, the game doesn't mock you. It doesn't lock content away. It doesn't weaken you permanently. The boss doesn't get stronger. The rules don't change. The game just waits. Exactly the same way. Every time. That matters. Because failure in Souls games is not punishment. It's information. And Git Good at its core is simply pointing at that truth. Poorly phrased, often unkindly delivered, but fundamentally accurate. There is something to learn here. And learning hurts. I want to tell you about the moment this finally clicked for me. On my first Elden Ring playthrough on PS4, there were two fights that broke me. Black Knight Tiche and Astel, Stars of Darkness. I didn't beat them in a night or a weekend. It took me 2 full weeks. 2 weeks of dying, 2 weeks of frustration, and 2 weeks of alternating between them because one felt slightly less impossible than the other on any given day. And yes, I used summons. I wasn't trying to prove anything. I was just trying to survive. There were nights I logged off angry, nights I told myself I'd come back tomorrow, nights I wondered if this was just my limit. And here's the thing. I wasn't getting better in obvious ways. My damage wasn't skyrocketing. My gear wasn't suddenly perfect. What was changing was me. I started recognizing animations, stopped panic rolling. I learned when not to attack. And slowly, painfully, the chaos started to make sense. When I'd finally beaten them, I didn't jump up and celebrate. I sat there, and I almost cried. Not because I won, because I endured. Because something that felt impossible had quietly become achievable. That's when I understood. That's when Git Gud stopped hurting. Once you've lived through that kind of struggle, the phrase changes. Because now you know what it actually means. It doesn't mean be perfect, be flawless, be elite. It means pay attention.
Whoops, too close.
Slow down.
Oh, that was bad.
Learn from failure instead of running from it.
Oh shit, I don't have any more cerulean tears. I fucked. Because I took those shit off. Oh, I'm gonna die. I have to die.
Git Gud isn't about reflexes.
I can't even use anything. I'm an idiot. Kill me.
It's about patience. It's about staying long enough for understanding to catch up.
Look, I can't even die right now.
And once you know that, you can't unknow it.
You gotta just stay underneath them.
That's why people wear it like a badge. Not because they're better than you, but because they were once exactly where you are. This philosophy doesn't just stay in Souls games. It follows you into learning new skills, into starting over, into being bad at something you care about. Real life doesn't explain itself either. It just shows you where you're lacking. That hurts. Especially if you're already hard on yourself. Especially if failure feels personal. The Souls games teach something rare. Failure doesn't mean stop. It means look closer. And that lesson, once learned, is powerful. So yes, Git Gud hurts when you hear it too early, when you're still overwhelmed, when you don't yet know what you're missing. But when you finally get it, it stops sounding like an insult. It becomes a reminder that growth is allowed to be slow, that failure is not final, and that persistence matters more than talent ever will. I didn't beat the Black Knife Tiche or Astel because I was exceptional. I beat them because I stayed. And that is something worth wearing.